And we suck again. We suck again. And we got destroyed. We got destroyed by the Steelers. And listen, shout out to the Steelers. Shout out to you guys. You absolutely kicked our butts. You kicked our butts in, out, and center. And, you know, nothing looked good tonight. At all. It looked like there was potential we could come back multiple times in this game. We didn't do it. It looked like we could maybe do something. The Steelers are a way better football team than us. And it hurts a lot to say that out loud. Because I feel like we came a long way since Joe Burrow's injury. We go against the Jags. We beat them. 8-3 Jags. We beat the Colts when it looked like the Colts weren't going to have a chance against us. Then we go ahead and beat the Vikings in a crazy comeback. And then Jake Browning says, you shouldn't have effing cut me. And I feel like going into this game, we were way too, high in the hog. We were in the clouds, as they would say. And we did not go into this game in the correct mental space. That's what I'll say. We were too cocky going into this game, and we got humbled. We got humbled in every human way possible. We got smacked up and down the wall, smacked out of this stadium, and the Steelers, even Mason Rudolph played absolutely lights out tonight. 290 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, he had a really big touchdown, or only touchdown was an 80-yard touchdown to T. Higgins. There's no positive way to take from this game. It's literally exactly like the Titans game when we lost to them in week 4. It's like you lose that game and there's nothing good to take away. Our line sucked. Our receivers couldn't get open. Our play calling was trash. And you can't even blame one thing. You can't blame Zach Taylor for this game. Although the 4th and inches throwing the freaking football was probably the worst decision I've ever seen in my freaking life. But even then, the play execution was crap. Look at the play before that 4th and inches. We throw a screen pass, guys wide open, Jake throws it behind him. And throughout this game, Jake was overthrowing the ball so much. And a lot of the reasons why was because he didn't want to throw interceptions. He was scared to throw it to the guy because it was going to get picked off. There's nothing positive to break from this game other than the fact that we got our ass kicked. And now we're 0-5 in the division. And yeah, we can still make the playoffs. That's the crazy thing, isn't it? Pittsburgh, you guys might not make the playoffs because you play the Seahawks and Ravens. It's very possible you lose both of those games and you'll have the playoffs. We can still make the playoffs, and our playoff situation is now going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs and playing the Cleveland Browns. Before we get into that, though, let's talk about the absolute awfulness of this game. 16 carries in this game. You might say, well, why didn't we run the ball more? Why didn't we keep running the ball? Because they stacked the box, put 8 in the box every single play. We kept running screen passes and running the football into a nothingness. Can't run the football when you don't throw deep. We didn't go deep at all in this game. We refused to go deep. We said, no, going deep is against our religion. We are anti-go deepers. Thing, my blanket. We just would not throw the ball deep. And because of that, they stacked the box and they destroyed us. TJ Watt destroyed Jonah Williams. And again, there's not many things you can really select one said thing is a problem for this game. Everything was a problem for this game. Everything was an issue. But again, like I said before, I know maybe I'm coping here. We can still make the playoffs. We can still make the playoffs. We lost today. What do we need to happen to make the playoffs, right? Well, let's break it down. If we win the next 2 games, we sit at a 75% chance to make the playoffs. If the Bills lose tonight, we are sitting pretty to make the playoffs. For those saying we can't beat these 2 teams, by the way, remember the fact that this is AFC North football. Today, we got our ass kicked. And last time we got our ass kicked, we were against the Titans. We then went ahead and beat the Cardinals, beat the Cardinals, Seahawks, and 49ers, and Bills. And we won 4 games in a row. Last time we lost this bad. Just keep that in mind. But who else do we need? We need the Steelers to lose to the Ravens. Dolphins beat the Bills. Raiders beat the Broncos. Texans beat the Colts. We're still in the playoffs. If we lose to the Chiefs, then we're going to need a lot of things to happen our way. Seahawks beat the Steelers. Chargers beat the Broncos. Titans beat the Jags. Patriots beat the Bills. Panthers beat the Jags. Texans beat the Titans. I'm not going to sit here and say that there's as good of a chance going into this game as it will be after this game, after losing this game, losing and not going to the playoffs. Chances are we're not going to go to the playoffs unless things go correctly and we win out. And for those who are asking, where are we sitting at draft picks? This is where we're sitting at the draft pick situation. So today we lost. So right now, this would be our best case. If we lose all of the rest of the games, the next 2 games, we're sitting at 17th overall draft pick. If we win 1 out of 2, or what? Yeah, 1 out of 3. 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. We're sitting at 18. If we win. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. I'm just like my mind right now. I just streamed for 3.5 hours. Us getting our ass kicked. 18th pick. If we lose all 3, we're 17th. If we win all 3 or anything else, we're 18th. Again, we're not out of the playoffs. But then the question now becomes, if we get to the playoffs, what are we going to do? Because DJ Reader's out. Cam Taylor-Britt does come back next week. Joe's not coming back. Neither Jamar Chase will probably come back next week. So that's a positive. We get next week against Chiefs, we get Jamar Chase back, most likely, hopefully. We also get, Cam Taylor-Britt back next week. Still no DJ Reader. Still going to have all these guys out. Still going to have to try to figure something out with our players out. It's not a positive thing to look at, right? And if we get to the playoffs, who do we play? So we'll be 7th seed if we get to the playoffs at this point, right? 7th seed will play number 2 seed. Number 2 seed is going to either be the Ravens or the Dolphins. I don't know if we can beat either of those teams. We can't beat the Ravens. I don't think we can beat the Ravens. Not with the squad we have out there right now. And maybe the Dolphins, crazier things could happen against the Dolphins. Maybe the Dolphins just choke because it's a playoff game. But even let's say the Dolphins choke, we get to the next playoff game. Now in divisional round, what's going to happen in divisional? Divisional now, we're going to play if we beat 2. If we beat 2, let's say we beat the Dolphins, right? Well, now one plays 7. So now we play the Ravens. So if we beat the Dolphins, we play the Ravens. If we beat the Ravens, then we play the Dolphins. So our playoffs, if we get to the playoffs, we either have to play the Ravens or the Dolphins Ravens. And then we get to the championship, we're then going to have to play the, we're going to have to go through, in order to go to the Super Bowl this year and win a Super Bowl, okay? We're going to have to beat the number 2 seed, the number 1 seed, and then we have to beat the number 3 seed. Or whoever the 3 seed plays and whoever lost. We have to beat whoever there. We're going to have to go through the number 2 seed, number 1 seed in the AFC, and then go through the best team left to get in the championship. To go to the Super Bowl, to then play the 49ers. It's like, even if we get there at this point, it's going to be a tough road. I don't know. At this point, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long season. And it sucks, but you know what? It is what it is, man. We got our ass kicked. We did. We had a chance to go to the playoffs. We looked good the last couple of weeks. We got cocky, we got arrogant, and we got humbled tonight. We got humbled in a lot of different ways. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.